Welcome, welcome, everybody. This is the
Oh,
CyphaDen Chat. I'm your host, Tayamu Denko. I got my homie Rambunctious with me.
Hello, hello.
And tonight's special guest, we got Natasha Tosini, Stephen Staley in the house. We talking viral haunt. And yeah, what's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
Very
hey,
well.
good, thank
Very
you.
good. Thank you
Thank
very
you for
much
having
for having
us.
us. Yeah,
Of course,
appreciate
of
it.
course.
Good to
Uh
meet you. Good to meet you, Stephen.
Yeah,
knowing
thank
that
you.
I was
Hello, Natasha.
knowing that we were gonna jump into this, it made me think of this time because we've had Natasha on the podcast in the past,
Yes.
and shortly after the uh, Blood and Honey, we had talked to her, and she had mentioned how we asked, "Oh, what do you want to do going forward?" And she said, "I want to get into, I think, directing or making my own movies."
Oh my God, did I say that?
You
Wow,
Wow.
there you
did.
go.
And this was like 3 years ago, I think, right? Two, three.
Yep.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
And you
Oh my
said
God.
that, and now here you are. So, I mean, yeah. Like, so how do you jump forward into doing that now?
Yeah. What was that journey like?
Um, well, to be honest, I forgot that I said that. Um, but I have actually loved it. Like I loved directing so much. It was so much fun. So yeah, I'm on the same path that I said I wanted to be on, so that's good. How it happened, I've obviously been acting the whole time up until this film. Um, Me and Steve, we're best friends. We have a podcast together called That's a Wrap. Where we
Oh,
just do
nice.
fun stuff and enjoy ourselves and that. And we were like, do you know what? Let's make some films and stuff. We made a little documentary, and then we approached some distributors and stuff. And the distributors that we've worked with before on like different films and stuff, the distributors of Winnie the Pooh, they were like,
Right,
okay,
right.
what film ideas have you got? Because we basically told them that we wanted to be in, like, make films. And we told them ideas and they said, okay, yeah, fine, make it. And we were like, oh, okay.
Like that simple.
Yeah.
And
That's great.
I
also,
think
I
it
think
helps
because
because, sorry, go
you,
on.
sorry, Chop,
That's right.
it was Tasha's idea for this story of the film, and because you'd spent so much time on it developing it, it sort of made sense for Tasha well, us both to direct it.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think that's how it came about, didn't it?
Yeah. It was much easier for us to direct it, I think, because we knew it off by heart. Because we both co-wrote it as well. So like I come up with the idea initially and I come up with like the bones of it, but then we put the story together and we made it and we wrote it together and then we developed each of the characters and we did all those little bits. So no one would have known the story better than us to direct it.
Hmm.
Right. Interesting.
That's
Yeah.
what's up. Because I was gonna ask, like, is it even more grueling work being the director and acting in your own movie? Is that, I mean, is that even more grueling work to do? You know what
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It,
difficult.
it,
We also
it,
produced it, so that
it
was hard.
Oh,
It
okay.
was yeah, it was a lot more. I think um we got to see on set, didn't we, that we had both probably different approaches to it, or we let I'll tell you what, it helped that it was two of us
Yeah.
Right,
because
right.
we one of us needed to be on the camera. Oh, we were very lucky that we had a good crew that was helping us anyway. So when we were acting, we had the assistant director to make sure everything was okay anyway, and we had a good DOP as well. But I think it did help, didn't it? Imagine doing it on your own. That would be
Yeah.
terrifically difficult.
Yeah,
The fact that we were
definitely.
doing it together made it a bit easier.
Right.
Obviously, we were leaning on our acting experience when it came to our acting performances, but when it came to directing and producing it, that was new to us, so it was a challenge, wasn't
Yeah.
What
it? Yeah.
was it the chemistry you already had, the way you could bounce off each other in acting because you already had that kind of kinship and friendship? That is that kind of how you did it?
Yeah.
Is that the method you used,
Yeah,
kind of?
I think so. I think we knew we could work well together because we
Yeah.
got on very well. We'd already worked on quite a few projects, hadn't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Um, and yeah, I think we both let each other to be creative in the film. Um, Tasha had a bigger part in this film than I did because I think from my point of view, it was the first movie I'd produced, so I needed to be sure it was going to be as good as it could be, and that doesn't mean I need to be in front of the camera. I just needed to make sure behind the camera everything was okay as well.
Right.
So yeah, and I think Tasha did really well.
Oh,
Um,
thanks.
no, because you had a big part in this film, and
Yeah.
also you were really handy directing the actors about in the scenes. So obviously, because it was your story, wasn't it? So yeah, it was a good team effort.
Nice.
That's what's up. Um, real quick, I just got to go back. So is this one of the Natasha? Like you don't even remember saying that on the podcast. And the thing is, I posted this clip of it, right? And you had I remember you saying, I have all these ideas that I said into my phone. Is this one of those ideas
Oh
you
my
said to
God,
your
this is
phone?
not one of those ideas, but that's true. That's true. I
Yeah.
have so many because you know what the problem is? Like with that, I forget everything. Like the other day, I said to my mom, would you help me and cook me this thing while I'm working, please? And in the time that she'd walked from one room to the other and started cooking, I'd forgotten and walked in here to get a snack and came in and was like, oh my God, you're making me that food, aren't you? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, I was about to eat a snack. Like that's how bad my memory is. So if I don't say these ideas to like my phone or something, they're just never gonna happen because I'll forget.
And to be honest, that's one thing I remember from you, Tash. When we brainstorm, it's so funny. She comes out with all these ideas, which are great. And I always say, write it down. I always say, we've got a spreadsheet here. Let's put all the ideas here and then we can develop them. And she's
Exactly,
like
exactly.
100 mile an hour, and giving me voice notes. I'm like,
Yeah.
now I've got to listen to the voice note. I've got to get my computer out, get typing away. But they are good ideas, to be fair. But
Right.
yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
this real quick. This is completely off topic, but I have to ask, Stephen, you played the role of Elon Musk in a film. Is that did that really happen, bro? What
oh
what
shit.
what was that like? Cause it's just it's I saw it. I was just like, man, come on, man, this is hilarious.
Some people think I look like Elon Musk. I don't think I do, but do I? I don't.
No, no, no.
I don't know.
I was like, how did he get cast as Elon Musk?
Well, apparently the producers had met Elon Musk a few times. It was funny actually because they had a picture of Elon in the middle and the two producers either side of him, and they did the same with me. They got me in the middle and took a picture of me. And apparently, I'm a similar height, but I think Elon Musk is a little, tiny bit taller than me.
Oh, so
Um,
more physique and shape, more so.
yeah, probably. Yeah, yeah.
That's hilarious.
It was to be fair, it was only a small part in a Cinderella movie. It actually got released in cinemas in America. It was Cinderella's Revenge.
You played
Um,
Elon Musk in a Cinderella movie?
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
wow.
yeah. Um, I don't know if you remember. There was a lady in the film called Natasha Henstridge. She was the very sexy lady out of Species. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know if
remember.
you
Yeah, I
Species
remember her.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was quite cool working with her. But yeah.
Wow. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that movie actually. You remember that movie, Danku?
Yeah, I saw it. That's why I had to bring it up. That's
Yeah.
why I had to bring it up. I was like, yeah.
That's
Um,
awesome.
so uh when can we expect the viral hunt like worldwide? Is it coming worldwide? Like how y'all getting it out there?
That'll ultimately be up to the distributors,
Okay.
executive producers. All we can do, obviously, is producing the film. We can finish it to the best standard we can, and then we hand it over to them. And then it'll be up to them what they do with it, basically. If I had to guess, I would expect it to be released this year. It's just a guess, but maybe late summer or maybe
Mm.
August time,
Awesome.
I agree, probably, yeah.
probably.
Okay.
We'll have to see, but yeah, it's looking good so far. Obviously, it's in post-production, and we're working through it, aren't we?
Yeah,
With the
it looks
editors
really good.
and etc., the sound and everything else that needs to go with it to make it as good as it can be. But yeah, I'm sure it'll be this year.
That's what's up. Ram, you got something? Oh, his mic is your mic is not working right now. he had he had problems with his mic going into it. Well,
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
yeah.
Yeah.
You got
Sorry
some?
about that. Yeah, I was wondering, do you guys kind of have your hands in each part of the process still at this very moment, like and on through until it comes like the promotional process, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
all the way through
Well, we don't.
at
Sorry, did
least?
you want to?
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's our responsibility until we hand it over, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So
Okay,
we'll be working with the post-production team and giving our feedback and trying to make it as good as possible with our, conversations, etc. In terms of it's obviously not us editing it, it's not us doing the sounds and etc. They're different
okay,
groups of people, but ultimately it's our responsibility. And when they do their job to the best standard they can do, we'll be handing it over to the executive producers to
okay.
review, and then that'll be it for this project, won't it?
Yeah.
Right. So you guys aren't like in the room and like you guys aren't like having your like over there over each you're not overbearing for each like the sound guy making sure each so you just kind of let him do his job and
Yeah,
get
that's
it
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
approve it kind of thing. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's what
Sorry, I
we're
was trying to
like,
be.
aren't we? Anyway,
Yeah.
we like giving people the responsibility to, because they're better at their job than, do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we can only
Yeah.
suggest things, but ultimately, some people are better. I've got more skills than you in different areas, and I think we're both the same, aren't we? We like
Yeah.
letting other people be creative in their areas.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be great to, well, maybe in a future film to be involved in the marketing, because I quite like that side of it as well.
Yeah.
But for
Right.
this film, I don't think we will be. But I guess we sort of are now, sort of thing. But
Yeah.
ultimately, yeah, it'll be up to the
Smart.
executive producers.
Actually, yeah, it's smart to put them
Yeah.
on a podcast and
Yeah.
Yeah.
promote.
Yeah.
It's very smart actually. Yeah. Um.
Can we get
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
can we get a breakdown? Can we get a short breakdown of the plot?
Yeah. So I'll give you the no spoiler version, obviously. So basically, there are six people. They're like influencers, like TikTok, Instagram influencers sort of thing. And they run a ghost hunting YouTube channel. So, like Ghost Hunters or Most Haunted or whatever the channels on TV are, it's kind of like that sort of thing. They go somewhere that's haunted, they film it, and there's like bangs and stuff, and everyone's scared. Just that's the basic stuff they do on their YouTube. When they originally started it, it was two members, and then when it started getting bigger, they started adding more of their friends into the group of the Haunt Hunters, which is what their YouTube channel's called. Um, Obviously with real ghosts you'll hear like a bang here and there and that's it, but when they'd had some, like they've gone to some places and nothing's happened, they started to, I guess, fake it. Like they'd add something in post so it looks like a ghost flies by and stuff like that. So they were faking it basically. And it made them go viral. They got like millions of views. So now they are proper like influencers, like massive, like they get recognized in the street. They're properly like famous because of this. So that means that they get more money because of it as well. So now some of them are like power hungry, some of them are like money hungry. And they're just continuously like faking it. However, because they've faked it for so long, a lot of their viewers have turned into like haters. And obviously, you know what the internet's like. It's like real life. Like they'll post a video and 50% of the people will go, "This is fake. How can anyone believe it? Oh my God. No way. How does anyone believe that's real?" sort of thing. So the leader of the group, his name's Jake, played by Jack Hoy. Um, he kind of decides that, well, he's a bit of a dick actually. He's like the worst person in the group. He's a cock. So he decides that they're going to go to this really haunted, like dangerous place where the police have like cordoned it off and stuff because it's really dangerous. To get views. So basically, people will stop calling them fake because they've gone somewhere. Imagine, I'm trying to think of a real haunted place in real life, like the Cecil Hotel, whatever it's called.
Mm.
That place, like imagine if you went there and scary things happened, you wouldn't assume someone was faking it. It's like that sort of thing. And that's obviously where the movie begins, and bad things start happening.
That's
Dope.
what's up.
That's really
Yeah.
dope. Huh.
Yeah. Do you guys have a do you have a standout moment for each of you while making the movie? Something
Yeah.
that's either funny or something that you will always remember forever going on. Like let me hear those.
Go on
You know what
then.
I'm gonna say, don't you?
Yeah.
We had this really hilarious scene.
Is it the same
I
moment for both of you?
will probably be the same moment for both of us. Is yours the
Okay.
same moment?
Probably.
Yeah,
I'll,
yeah.
I'll probably let you off because I didn't have any lines in that scene, which actually made it quite funny for me. But yeah,
Honestly, I've never experienced something so funny in my entire life. You know when you're laughing and it's like the teacher's telling you off and you cannot for the life of you stop. Someone could have a gun to your head and you can't stop laughing. That's what I experienced. So we're doing this scene where I won't tell you what happens in the scene, but all of us are in the scene. And there's a lot, this horror is like a very psychological horror. So instead of like massive gore and like gruesome things, it's more like psychological. And there's a lot of like bangs or like lights flashing in the scene and stuff. So as we're delivering our lines, there's crew members behind the scenes all making sure that these things happen at the right time. So like a clap or a bang or like the lights and stuff. So we do the wide and then we do everyone's close up except for our twos. We were the only two left. And there was one person who was doing a bang. And for the whole time, he was just doing a, and we all went, oh, what was that? But then it was on Steve's close up. Really important scene for Steve, really important. And instead of the clap, he went, ah! Or something like that. Obviously, a massive scream, but it just come out funny. So then all of us burst out laughing, like crew and cast, everyone burst out laughing. But after that, I couldn't take it. So then I couldn't stop laughing. Steve couldn't stop laughing. Kelly, Rianne Sanson from Cinderella's Curse and Winnie the Pooh too, she's in it as well. She couldn't stop laughing. So obviously, Steve had a hard time. Oh my God, just thinking back, that was hilarious, wasn't
it was funny. It was funny, but it didn't stop there, did it? Because it carried on to the next scene, to the next scene, the next day. I had to pull her aside at one point and
it?
say, "You can't do this. You can't." Do you know what I mean? It
Oh
didn't.
my God.
It was.
Honestly,
It was funny, but it carried on to the upstairs scene. Remember that? Every time I opened my mouth, she was laughing.
I couldn't take it after that. Honestly, up until that point, I was so good. And like me and Steve, because we're such good friends, we laugh each other a lot. So Steve said to me, "You can laugh one scene a day," and I says, "All right, I'll do one scene a day laughing." But then after that, that was it. It really was gloves off because we had another scene after that, and Steve had a few lines, and every time he spoke, I had to look away because I thought I can't even be in the scene. Like there were some scenes
I
where I
didn't
wasn't
even
even
feel like I
there.
was in that scene. It was crazy. But it wasn't just that; it was the crew as well. Then they started doing funny things, didn't they? They were shouting all
Yeah,
sorts out.
yeah.
Oh
Like some
God!
scenes where people were meant to be making a bang, we'd say, right, a bang happens here, a scream happens here, a whisper happens here. But instead of that, they wouldn't stick to that. So they'd be going, Mommy, and we'd have to be going, what's that? What's that? And they'd go, where did you, Mom? And we'd be like, oh my God, how can we get through this?
Yeah, it was
As far,
funny.
can we talk about location of where you guys filmed this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Steve, do you want
Yeah, well, we've got a couple of good locations for the film. We've got a 15th century manor, which a lot of the film is shot in, and we also shot at one of the most haunted places in Great Britain, which is Revsby Abbey, apparently.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
huge, huge abbey with insane amount of square footage of cellars. It's unbelievable, isn't it? So we
to?
went
Yeah.
right down into the cellars where apparently it's the most haunted spot. and we were shooting loads of scenes in there. And that, to be fair, that was one of my, going back to what you said before about your favorite bits. I really enjoyed the Abbey, apart from the fact it was freezing, which was the only bad thing. It's so cold down there.
Yeah.
Hey, I have to
But
ask you,
I would have
what
enjoyed it more if it
what's
was
an
a
abbey?
month. Sorry.
Oh,
What's
an
an abbey?
abbey. It's
Yeah, we're
a
American. I mean, I honestly
Oh,
don't
an
know what an
abbey.
abbey.
Oh,
I know.
okay.
It's
Yeah, I'm
basically a
sorry.
huge mansion, like
Okay. That's what I thought that.
insane
I
big
just
thing.
wanted to be clear.
Yeah. A
Sorry.
really, really big, like one of them royal family type buildings. Do you
Okay.
know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Really
Okay. Okay.
spectacular.
And so
Um,
you went to the actual cellars to film?
yeah, it was
Was there
amazing.
any creepy shit? I mean, just to be frank, you know what I'm saying?
Do you know what? It was quite funny because we were filming and we didn't plan it. None of the actors talked about it, but the crew were doing things to spook us, so we'd
Yeah.
react. Remember that?
Yeah.
Like, didn't they?
Yeah.
I was like, "What? What is that?" And it made some of the performances quite funny.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, obviously, after a few times, we realised it was them just messing around.
Huh.
But yeah, you can actually see in the movie, you can actually see him at one point dart past one of the big yellow windows, can't you?
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
but
and you guys
yeah,
kept it?
I,
You can't
I
tell
didn't
it's
see
a
anything
crew
particular.
member. It just looks like a shadow moving by, doesn't it?
So you're like,
Hmm.
Oh yeah, it's just like a boom, yeah,
Yeah.
quick shadow.
that's
But yeah.
awesome. Yeah, right.
So no real haunting things happened when y'all were shooting in the most haunted spot in Great Britain.
We
Yeah.
thought there would be. I was dead worried about going there because it's got a massive reputation and loads of like big TV shows have been there
Yeah.
and like caught scary things happening, but no, nothing happened. Me and
All
Kelly went
right.
to the toilet at one point. Obviously, there's no lights in there, and we were filming in the dark. And we went to the toilet, and it's like there's no ceilings or anything. And we thought something scary was going to happen, but
Yeah. Yeah.
again,
The
except for the
scariest thing
crew,
was
there
you.
was nothing
Yeah.
scary.
The scariest thing was using the bathroom in a toilet like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you guys are making me feel better. I'm not to put the spotlight on me or anything at all, but I'm actually getting into acting coming this year. A friend of mine is doing a horror movie in Wisconsin here,
oh,
and
cool.
I've never actually I've done a couple of extra things, but I'm the main villain,
Oh,
and I'm not
cool.
in there much. It's just mainly like silhouettes and stuff of me and stuff like that. But he's like, oh yeah, these are actually haunted places and some real haunted places in Wisconsin in the woods. And
Oh
he's
my
like,
God.
people are gonna be scared of you, and all that. I'm like, I don't go camping in the woods. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be scared of my own character. Like, it was fun. Also, you guys are making me feel better.
No, it's amazing. Well done, though. Yeah.
Yeah, well done. That's really good.
Right
Let
on,
me
right on. Yeah.
let me ask y'all this. I know y'all have done multiple things, but a basis of the work that I've seen y'all in have been horror movies. Do you feel like uh that acting, Hollywood and stuff tries to box people in when they start doing things like this? Or do you feel like it would be easier just to scape out and do different things, even though you guys are already uh, reputable, known for being in horror movies?
Um,
I'm not too sure, I'm not too sure. I think the reason why I've done a lot of horror is just because the demand for horror seems to be really high.
Hmm.
In terms of getting away from that, I can imagine, yeah, I'd like to think that I could, but I don't know, I guess. I don't know.
Do
So
you have a
because it's
desire to?
most, to be honest, it's most of the films I've done. I think that with this production company, I guess that's the good thing about having a production company. I could give myself some different roles.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
Do
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like to escape that way, maybe. Um,
Do you have a desire to, or
sorry.
do you have a desire to? Sorry.
Yeah, I would like to do some action films at some point. Yeah.
I've seen the pictures, bro. I could see you fucking
Yeah.
somebody up in
Yeah.
in an
Yeah.
action film. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
like it.
something I'd
Like
like to try out in
some John Wick
maybe
style.
in a couple of years' time, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Nice, nice. Don't let
What
him.
about you,
Don't.
Natasha? You planning on venturing out and doing even more things outside of
Um,
the realm of horror, or is it something that you want to just keep focused on?
um, I definitely would like to branch out other than horror. I have done some things that aren't horror. Again, it's probably more than 50% horrors that I've done. That is again because like the demand and stuff. And I think with I don't think it's that when you start doing horrors you get stuck. I think it's more that because there's so much demand for horrors,
Hmm.
it's a lot easier to get four horror movies in a row than it is to get one rom-com. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Oh, okay.
Like that's the way I kind of look at it anyway, because I know that if I applied for maybe five horror movies, there'll be so many horror movies right now that are like being worked on and stuff. So if I applied for all of them and let's say I got one or got a few or whatever, I could do them within the coming months, but there might not be a comedy or a rom-com being filmed. Does that make sense? Like there's a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
more horror movies being made and stuff, it seems, on this type of level than there is other films, if that makes sense.
yeah, yeah,
So
for
I feel
sure.
like it
Yeah.
might be that instead of being boxed in, but I know um I think I am not typecast, but I think because obviously I already have like a name for myself in the horror industry, it's easier again for me to get horror movies because I'll have people reach out to me to be in their horror movies. Um, Whereas I don't have that with other genres. But
Yeah.
I don't like watching horror movies.
That's funny. That's really
um,
funny. I don't either,
yeah,
actually.
so
I'm not a
I
big
don't
horror movie
like
fan at all.
really watching
But
them.
yeah, that's
So
that's
yeah, I
awesome.
do want to like I love making them because I love the
Oh,
like
that's crazy.
the friendship and like
Yeah, yeah,
everyone really chips together, especially when you're covered in blood and it's freezing cold. Everyone becomes good friends because it's like you're going through a hard time, so everyone's like really good friends at that point. But if I had to pick a genre that I was typecast in, it would definitely be comedy because I really want to do like I love romance films and I love comedy films and I'd love to be typecast in like comedies. You know when you see Ryan Reynolds and you know like okay this is going to be a comedy.
yeah,
I would love that to be me. Like you see me and you go okay this is going to be funny. Do you know what I mean?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Huh, interesting. You do you have any desire to do comedy, Stephen?
You want me to do it, don't you?
I want him to do it because he's just naturally funny.
You seem
I,
like you might be a funny you seem the kind of funny you seem like it'd be kind of like Jason Bateman funny. You guys know what I'm talking about?
oh
Like
yeah,
the
yeah,
kind of
yeah. He's really good.
like you know what I mean? Kind of like where the
Yeah, yeah,
dialogue is
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
dry
yeah,
a
yeah.
little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
Honestly, even if I was a tenth of that good, I'd be happy.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I would like to do it. Maybe we could make a comedy film.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know
That's
you want to
all.
do it, don't you? So
yeah,
we
I
we'll
I
give it a
somehow
go.
see that. I see that in the future. Actually, I do.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I can see you guys doing that. That'd be awesome.
How did y'all actually meet? Like did it happen in acting? Did it happen before acting? How did that happen?
uh,
Yeah, we did, didn't we? We met through films. Um,
Oh well.
first film we worked on was very brief, and then the second film we worked on, we spent more time together, didn't we? I think that
yeah,
was where we started becoming friends. Once
yeah,
it,
definitely, yeah.
What you guys
um,
said it was a documentary? Was
No, that's the first film we made. That's the first thing we made together. We actually met as
okay.
actors.
Oh, I
yeah,
see. Okay, okay, nice. Nice. Okay. What was the
yeah, and
documentary?
we
I'm curious. What was the documentary about?
the
So the,
documentary. Sorry, do you want
no,
you say?
sorry, go on. Are
Sorry, no, you say it. You say it's cool.
you sure?
Oh, this is about to be a bombshell. Hell
No,
yeah.
it's not. It's so basically we did a documentary on OnlyFans. So like the
Okay.
other side of OnlyFans, so not like the people that are making millions of pounds, but the people who aren't really making that much and like
Oh
what
boy.
spurred them to do it and the different types of people. So men also doing OnlyFans
Wow.
and like
Can you say the name?
pensioners doing OnlyFans. The
I'm
name of
curious.
it,
Yeah.
it's called Only a Few Fans.
Good name,
Damn.
actually.
That sounds like a rap diss video. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Good.
That's all
Oh,
right.
that's great.
I feel like
I'm
people will laugh when they watch it a little bit.
I'm
There
definitely
is
gonna
sad
check that.
moments, but people will laugh, I think.
Did you guys do it for the comedic purpose, or were you really just
No, not
curious of the
really.
side of
Like
that?
there was a few bits in it that we were like, okay, this will be funny, but it's just we did like it is for entertainment. So if it was
Yeah,
just boring the whole way through, people are going to switch off. So we did have to really think of like, okay, we want people to continue watching it all the way through. Do you know what I mean? But we did
yeah,
have
yeah.
like not so much a story, but a beginning, middle, and end. So at the beginning, it was just them and introducing the people in it, and then the middle is like all their stories, their life stories, and the ending is like where they're at now, sort of thing.
Oh,
So
dope. Oh,
there is a few sad moments, but there is quite a few funny bits as well
good.
that we can laugh at.
Dope, dope.
That's what's
My
up.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, viral hunt. That seems to be the next big thing. So hopefully we get a release date coming out this year, right? You guys were in LA not too long ago. I think I saw video pictures and stuff like that. How was your experience coming out to the west coast of the US?
Yeah, I really liked it. Yeah. I thought it
Yeah.
was really good. We met a lot of people, didn't we? We had a good
Yeah.
time.
Oh, nice.
Um, I've never actually spent much time in LA before. I've been over to America a lot, especially Vegas.
Oh,
But I've
yeah,
only
yeah,
passed through LA. I've never stayed there, so I wanted to see what it was like, and I could imagine living in LA at some point,
yeah.
possibly in the future. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Interesting.
That's what's
Nice.
up. How do opportunities like, you know, people in America are always like, I'm gonna move to Los Angeles and do movies. And then there's like this small fraction of people that
Mm.
actually go on to do anything. You know what I'm saying? So, how is it in the UK as far as mingling and getting into the acting world out there?
Oh well, the only thing I can relate to a little bit was a lady that I've done about 15 movies with. Um, she used to live in LA. She did quite a few things over there, and she came over here and she said she found it a lot easier to get work in the UK than in LA. So
As an actor, you said?
yeah, as an actor.
Huh.
So obviously there must be some truth in that. I'm sure she wouldn't have said it for, and she's in quite a lot of stuff, but she's the only person really that I know that's gone from USA to the UK. There was a lady when I was in LA. I met a British lady, and she wrote a book called Surviving Hollywood, which is is really helpful for actors. And I wanted to meet her and speak to her about her experience. Obviously, a British lady going over to America, and she gave us a lot of good advice. But ultimately, she said it's tough. You know, it's tough just to be an actor. And I was listening to this thinking, I don't think I would fancy my chances just going over to LA and applying for work. So it seems to be a tough racket, you know. So I just thought I'd rather own a company making the movies and go that way rather than
Bullseye.
applying for work.
Yeah.
Mm, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it it I don't get me wrong. If an opportunity came up where I could act in something, that'd be great, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
But yeah, I can imagine it being very difficult if you went over to LA, and also you'd need some money to do that, you know,
Yeah.
to constantly apply for work. Yeah, you'd have to be financially secure before you start, wouldn't you? Really, otherwise you'd
Yeah.
end up getting work, and then you might miss opportunities. And yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, LA is very expensive to live. Like the cost of living there is insane,
yeah,
especially compared to where I'm living. I don't even know what the cost of living is where Ram is right now.
About the same as where you're at.
Um, yeah, so I mean, LA is like probably twice, if not quadruple, the amount.
Oh my
Um,
God.
Easily 3 times the quadruple for sure.
yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy expensive there. It's kind of like when people say they're going to Miami on a trip and then all the food is like 10 times more than it is anywhere else. Like that's like the reality of that situation. Like if you
Yeah.
go to Miami, that's
Yeah.
kind of how it is. So I'm assuming LA is probably the same situation. Natasha, how about you? Would you ever have because it's different for you because you're a full-time mother on top of being an actress. So would you, if the opportunity came, would it be a difficult transition, or do you think you could even make the transition to move to LA, Hollywood, whatever, like the situation? Or do you just plan staying working where you're at right now?
Um, it would be difficult for me, not just because obviously I have Paisley, my daughter. For her, like I would never ever want to take her away from her family for like extended periods of time because they have such a good bond. So it wouldn't just be me moving, it would be me and her and my sister and then her daughter and my mom and do you know what I mean? And then I'm moving 5 people to a really expensive country. And the dogs. I'd have to move them as well.
Yeah.
So it would be really, really strenuous just to even get there. But LA, I mean, LA is okay. Like, it wasn't my favorite place. I enjoyed it, but where I live here, so I live in Nottingham, which is like the East Midlands of the UK, and I can get to any place in the UK within 2.5 hours.
Interesting.
Well, not the UK. I can get to any place in England, so not Scotland, but even Wales. I can get to Wales within like 2 hours from here, and I can get to Steve in 2 hours. I can be in London in an hour and a half. Um, so anytime I've got like an audition or something big, I can just be in London in an hour and a half.
Yeah. So it
The
actually works
town
out for you better.
centre is like, pardon?
Oh, I was saying it actually works out for you better, actually.
Yeah, yeah,
Being
exactly.
location.
I'm literally in the middle of the country, so I can get anywhere. The town centre from me is like 5 minutes to walk. The shop is about 30 seconds away. The primary school is about 30 seconds away. When I went to LA, I remember thinking, oh my God, I've got to drive for 10 minutes to get to Target to get a
Yeah.
drink and thinking, this is unreal. Like, I can't live like this. And there's so many cars and the traffic and it just I don't know, it was just a different thing for me what I've experienced before, and I prefer like the country style life. So if I was ever to move somewhere just for my own personal like choices and pleasure or whatever, I'd move somewhere where there's like nothing, so there's like trees and
Yeah.
lakes and stuff.
Oh, you're like Wisconsin. Where
Wisconsin, except Milwaukee, where I'm at. There's
no,
not that here, but
but they're like Madison, Wisconsin, up north, more north in Wisconsin, central Wisconsin.
yeah,
You would
that's
Oh
like
what
it. You
really?
would.
that's
You would
all
love it.
that's all that's there,
Yeah.
middle of
If
nowhere.
as long as yeah, as long as you like snow half the year, you'd love it.
That's why serial killer movies are written about our
Yeah.
state.
Yeah. That's where me and Danko met, and I lived for years and
Oh
he's from
really?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, that's like that would be definitely the place. Like just somewhere like that I'd rather go.
Hmm.
So I probably am, well, I definitely am missing out opportunities being here instead of being in LA. Obviously,
It's
I
like
know
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But again, it's such a big risk to go over there, and I have got like um guaranteed work in LA anyway, and I'm getting a visa sorted out this year. So like a visa to work in the States. So um, anytime that I need to go to the States for work, I will just be able to do that. And
That's
obviously the
awesome.
flight's long, but it's a lot better for me to get on a long flight and then be away from home for 3 weeks and then come back than it is for me to uproot the whole family, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's
And
Right.
awesome.
also every time I've spoken to a director before and they've spoke to me about like talent in the US and talent in the UK, every single person has said to me that a lot of directors and producers, like if they have high budgets or even medium budgets, they would prefer to bring talent from the UK to the US instead of working with US talent, because apparently US talent, they don't do as much. They don't like put. I don't want to shit on US talent. Obviously, it's
We
nothing to do with
suck. It's
me.
cool. We suck. It's
But
all good.
apparently a lot of, not all US actors, but apparently a lot of US actors won't put in as much as like they don't take it as seriously as the UK actors. So
Somehow that's a
a lot of
hundred percent
directors and
believable.
producers will, yeah. So I know that if somebody wants me, they'll fly me out. you know. So I'm more than happy to just stay here. Sorry, I know that was a
No, it's all,
very long way of saying no. I want to stay here.
no,
Hey,
fuck you guys.
it's all good. Hey, and if since you're getting your visa to work in the U.S. and you, Stephen, have been in the U.S. multiple times, so if you guys are ever in the Chicago area, let me know. I'll come down. That's not even that
Thank you
far
so
for me.
much. Yeah.
That's probably like an hour from me. I'm an hour
Oh,
north,
really? Oh, cool.
something like that. So yeah. But yeah, if y'all
Thank
ever
you.
out here, and also I would still like to. I mean, we didn't move forward on it. I know we talked about it last time, Natasha, but I would still love to have you as an extra in a music video at some point in time.
Yeah.
Um, but
Might have to go to the UK, man. Sounds like shit. Don't
yeah,
sound like they're coming here, bro.
yeah, yeah, I know.
I'm just playing. But
But Ram, you got something before we wrap?
I'll be honest. I just wanted to see if it was cool if I messaged both of you guys on Instagram, just keep in touch because
Yeah, yeah, of course, yeah.
I make music, do stand up, and I guess this.
Oh, he froze. Did he freeze? Oh,
Oh.
He's
no.
either frozen or very, very still.
Yeah. He's not that good at acting.
He definitely froze. Well,
Both of you
that.
guys.
Oh,
Oh, he's back.
Ram,
To the
you
Hello?
producer.
you froze, bro. You gotta say it again, bro.
I'm sorry. I'd like to introduce both of you guys to the director producer of the film that I'm going to be involved with because he's a really cool guy. It's all horror
Yeah.
films. He's in the horror genre heavy. So I just think it'd be cool to introduce you guys
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So
That'd
yeah,
be
if that's
wonderful.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, of
wonderful.
course,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Awesome. Right
Yeah,
on.
nice
Yeah.
one, dude.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can
but
you guys?
man, it's been fun though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking to
Can you guys talk real quick about what's coming next? Obviously, we got Viral Haunt that's going to be released, but can you guys talk about what's coming next for y'all?
You've got something in the pipeline, haven't you, Tash?
Um, what I've already filmed or
No. Well, we've both got productions coming out where we're just acting in it, aren't we? We've got two films we're in together. One's called Mouse of Horrors. The other one's called Hook.
Hook?
No, right. And you've got another film coming out shortly, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got Mosbit Massacre and Fairest of Them All.
Yeah.
nice.
Right.
I'm laughing. I like all those names.
Yeah. I know. It's funny.
Well, that's dope. I look forward to everything y'all got coming forward. We're all in touch. If you ever need a hip hop song, and Ram actually makes beats as well. If you guys ever need some music for any of your projects that you have coming forward, we will happily be down to do that. But
sure.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Well, thank you.
also, everybody out there, make sure that you stay tuned for Viral Haunt. Tonight, we have had Natasha Tosini, Stephen Staley, the actors, the directors of the upcoming film Viral Haunt. This has been the CyphaDen Chat podcast. I'm your host, Tayamu Denko. That's my homie, Rambunctious.
Peace.
And we appreciate y'all to the fullest. And we will be in touch.
Thank you so much for having us, guys.
Good, dude.
All right.
Thank you.
Peace.